The Chucky doll from the cult classic film from the 90s, Child's Play, is an iconic horror character. However, what most people don't know is that this sinister child's toy is based on a real doll with a horrific legacy. In the original Chucky movie, the doll is given to a young boy as a gift from his mother. At first, the boy is excited about receiving this toy as he'd always wanted it, but as time goes on, the child soon realizes there's more to this doll than what he expected. As Chucky reveals himself as a living toy that commits horrible acts every chance he gets. This concept originated from a doll that was given to a boy named Robert Eugene Otto in the early 1900s. The doll was 3 feet tall and dressed in a sailor's outfit, holding a small lion by his side. Not thinking anything of it, the boy and his family accepted the doll and took it back to their home, located in Key West, Florida. Robert Eugene Otto was referred to by his family as just Gene. Because of this, he gave the doll his first name, Robert. Not long after having the doll, the two became inseparable. Gene took Robert with him everywhere, treating him like he was a part of the family. He would often talk to Robert as if the doll were a real person and even give him a place at the dinner table, pretending to feed the doll pieces of his own food. Which, honestly, I don't know if that's weird for a little kid. Most kids have toys like that or even imaginary friends. But as time went on, things got weirder. Gene's new friend became a terrifying household presence. Gene was heard having entire conversations with Robert. During them, the family said they heard a strange voice replying back to their son. At first, they thought the little boy was making the voice himself, but then realized the voice they heard was much deeper and sounded totally unlike Gene's voice. Not long after, Gene started having terrible experiences for himself. Robert slept in the same bed as Gene, and on several occasions, Mr. and Mrs. Otto heard Gene screaming in the middle of the night. One night, they said they rushed to his room and they found furniture thrown all over Gene's room. Gene was still in his bed and Robert was sitting in the corner of his room, eerily staring at his owner. Gene claimed he woke up to the noises and he saw Robert doing all of it. This sparked fear in the rest of the household. Other family members claimed they had seen Robert moving around the house on several occasions, accompanied by a creepy giggle. Even some of the neighbors claimed to have seen the doll moving by itself in front of the windows. Eventually, the Otto family had enough and locked Robert in the attic, finally leaving him there for years to come. But this did not stop Robert. Guests and members of the house said they heard footsteps and what sounded like evil laughter coming from the attic. The Otto family owned a plantation and had many servants who worked on the property. Gene's mother was said to be extremely cruel to the servants. One day, she caught the servants practicing magic and quickly fired them. And as the story goes, as a revenge, one of the servants gave Gene the gift of Robert after cursing it. As Gene grew older, his odd obsession with his childhood doll never truly went away. The father, Mr. Otto, eventually passed away, and Gene inherited the family home where he settled down with his wife, Anne. Despite his horrific experiences, Gene couldn't help but reunite with Robert, returning to his old obsessions, and his wife was not having it. I mean, can you blame her? Robert frightened Anne to the core, and she couldn't stand being in the doll's sinister presence. And despite this, Gene continued with his obsession, placing Robert in a chair at night in the couple's bedroom while they slept, and even painted with Robert by his side. This obsession created great conflict between Gene and Anne. As time went on, Gene started acting strange and would often have random, uncontrollable mood swings, from insane rage to complete illogical behavior, then quickly back to his normal self. He also became physically abusive towards Anne during these episodes. When he returned to his normal state, he said he didn't remember any of it and he blamed Robert for the episodes. Gene passed away in 1974 and his wife shortly after. Soon, new residents entered the haunted home of Robert and the process started all over again. One of the members of the house was a small 10-year-old girl who found Robert in the attic. She, of course, took a liking to him, and followed were similar events from Gene's childhood. Eventually, Robert was given to a nearby Fort East Martello Museum, where he remains to this day. He is kept in a glass box in the basement of the museum. He is frequently visited by skeptics and believers alike, and it is said he doesn't like it when people take pictures of him without asking for permission first. The story also says that people who disregard this rule soon suffer horrific and severe misfortune. Around Robert's glass box are apology letters from the numerous people who have crossed his boundaries and suffered the consequences. As the years have gone by, Robert's fame has grown to the point where he is known throughout the internet. His caretaker even runs his social media on his behalf. Robert is now over 110 years old and is a main attraction in the city of Key West. While many people believe the story to be fake, those that have been face-to-face with Robert disagree, and there's no denying the impact he's made on the paranormal community.